But I still want to come back to actually portfolio. And I guess this links into it. We're kind of talking about it now with like, it leads into kind of social media. But a lot of people treat their social media as a portfolio, as their sort of quote brand. And I mean, I'm on the outk of no one cares about what I think. So all that goes onto my Twitter, my Instagram is either street photography or my art or my podcast or sharing cool tools. I don't believe anybody cares what I've had for dinner. I don't believe anyone cares what I think about the next election. I don't think anyone cares about what I think of whatever hot topic. So I kind of treat
Yeah.
it as my social media is my again quote brand. And anything like personal stuff, I'll talk to my friends behind closed doors about. Um, how do you feel like about social media? How does this tie into younger artists who want to get themselves out there, get themselves known? Do you think it's a force of power? Do you think it's something that's overrated? Like, where do you stand on social media? And I'll remove ArtStation out of that because ArtStation is in a kind of a weird space. It's half social media, half not, because of all the likes and stuff. So, like, sticking to traditional social media, useful, not useful. What do you think?
I think social media is a great tool if you know how to use it properly.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I grew up in the days of MySpace, so
Oh god, they were the
that's
days.
that's a long time ago, right? So so Paul Account started doing these things called weekly recaps, and at that point in time, I was just posting stuff on the forums every day, trying to get better, and everybody would tear me apart until I finally started doing better things.
Mm-hmm.
And I never get angry. I never just rage answer. I never did those things because people remember those things. Like if you're
Can I just
gonna be
pause you there?
posting,
Can I pause you there? Sorry. Do they?
huh?
Do they remember things? I want to
Yeah,
explore that
man,
because I
they
get
they
scared of that as a
remember
kid.
that.
Dude, I grew up and my lecturers always say to me, "Be careful what you say online. People remember. People remember." And I was
So
like, "Do
I don't
they?"
know, man. Look, man, a long time ago, I read an article about liking versus commenting. Right,
Okay.
and it's very interesting because no one remembers you liking stuff unless it's like someone special, like a big dude or like a girl you like or a guy you like. No one remembers.
Yeah,
No
yeah,
one
yeah.
remembers anyone liking anything. But if you go out of your way and say, hey, dude, that looks great, chances are that that's going to echo in their mind for years, you know.
Yeah.
Or if you decide to be rough about it or funny about it, everybody's going to remember that. Like there's this guy, Scott Hummer, for example. He's a good friend of mine. He works at Epic Games. He's
Mm-hmm.
always posting the cool Diorama scenes.
Yeah.
Over the years, I've always commented funny stuff on his stuff, and then that's how we became friends. We just when he comes to LA, we hang out, right? But
Yeah.
what if I had been a mean person and just completely trash him? I don't think he would even want to talk to me, right?
Yeah.
Because I've seen that happen. I've seen people who are very loud and vocal on social media show up at the game dev drink ups in person, and they're not
The
either
same person.
vocal or loud. In fact, they're very quiet people, and I just don't understand that. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
my grandpa was a very old fashioned guy, banker dude, and he would always tell me, Raul, if you don't got nothing to say, shut up. And I'd be like, yes, sir. Right. So I take the same approach with social media. And the funny though is that I just got into on Twitter this year. I
Yeah.
mean, last year. And I got on that because Ivana and Danny were bugging me about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "Oh, I guess I'll give it a try." And then what threw me off is the little handle everybody's got. It's got your name, and then it's got like this entire paragraph of your views, something about opinions being your own, which is very
Yeah.
weird for me because I'm always like, and who else's are they going to be? Like,
Yeah. I'm exactly the same. I find it very odd. It's like,
You
I
know,
speak for me.
totally
I'm
get it.
me. My name's Alex Beddoes at the top of that Twitter handle. It's Alex Beddoes speaking. If there's anything else, if it was anyone other than Alex, I'd fucking tell you.
And it goes back to literally opinions are your own, and I just think that is funny, right? But I tell you, dude, that God of War has been very demanding game to work on.
Yeah.
So for the past 5 years, I poured my heart and soul into it, and it paid off, man. Sony has taken great care of me. Everything's amazing. I love LA. You know, it's a very cool place to live and work. If
Mhm.
as long as everything, all the stars line up.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't post stuff on social media as much as I would like to, simply because I put so many hours at work that when I come home, I just want to like mess around. I want to maybe like open up Houdini or learn
Mhm.
Mail or like stuff, which I do. You know, I do a lot of scripting, a lot of technical stuff on the side. I've had that. You tagged me the other day actually, and
Yes.
that thing that I did that I posted, I did that thing 5 years ago.
Really?
And it had just been sitting there, and I thought, I guess I'll post this because I don't know what else to do. I wasn't feeling like sculpting anything that night, and I just threw it in there, right? So that was the level that I was at 5 years ago, right? So it's like I feel like good artists when they have a very established brand, um, they treat it exactly like you would a marketing team, right? They schedule things. They say, okay, this day I'm gonna post this. And I want to wait till things quiet down, and I'm gonna come back again. And I want to wait till things quiet down again, and I'm gonna come back again. Right? I feel like if you post every day, then you're just gonna be noise. Like, oh look, he just moved that one vertex around. Oh, he just added like this other thing in there. And if you make a significant art post, and then you said that you just went to the bathroom or that you're gonna go eat cake, then you just keep bumping. You know, you just keep
Yeah.
bumping and
Yeah.
showing up. So I always tell people, man, look, if you're gonna use social media for branding, don't talk about anything else other than the thing that you actually want to sell. You
Yeah.
know, make another Twitter where have your mom and your cousins and your homies, and then post your stuff there, and then make sure that people don't see both sides of you because
It's true.
people remember these things, man.
That's very
I
true.
personally, with this craziness thing that just happened, the election, American elections, and all that, I saw some nasty stuff on social media, man.
Yeah. Yep.
And the sad thing is, some of the people are very close friends of mine who were always super cool with me and never show the, I guess, true color, like people say. But you know, it's what it is, and opinions are their own. And I can't do anything about that. But I would definitely be thinking about that if they ever apply for a job.
And I completely agree. It's very well. I mean, social media, internet in general, brings out the worst in people. It gives them false confidence. Like you said, it's like some of the horrible stuff you see said online. Sometimes, like you said, they come to a drink up, don't say anything. They put on a smile on their face and they sit quietly, and they're not as outspoken. It's very weird. It's a very weird byproduct of social media, but I do agree. I mean, I agree with what you're saying because it's like, I mean, I separate my social media out into different things because, like, my street photography, if I posted that every day on Twitter, it'd get annoying. People would just be like, dude, this guy just spams. So I use Instagram. Instagram's great for that sort of stuff. It's great for just to dump art. And I keep it, I'm started to keep it solid for my photography. Facebook is like, yeah, I use it to talk to people. That's like in DMs. I don't post there. I have nothing to say. I don't have a lot to say. I do two podcasts. Like I speak a lot. Like anything I have to say, I get to talk to great people like you. I don't need to put it on
Man.
Twitter to have a bunch of random people tell me that I'm a moron. Like it's just not worth it. Like I'll post whips just because it's fun and I may as well. And that's about as far
Yeah.
as it goes, right? Like I don't want to post like I people wouldn't know I'm married. Like I keep my family off of apart from my dogs. My dogs go on Twitter quite a lot, but you know, they're adorable. But I don't feel the need to post like photos of my family or like, you know, my wife or anything like that on social media. Like, it's very weird. Like, this is my Twitter, especially my Twitter. It's like, okay, it's for art, like purely for art. Facebook, I get tagged in by my wife for everything. Actually, that's quite a funny thing that happened. One of my colleagues was like, "Oh, I saw you getting your garden done," and I was like, "How the fuck do you know that?" It's like, "Oh, your wife tagged you on Facebook." I was like, "Oh, for fuck's sake!" Like, my mum will
Yeah.
ring me and tell me news I'm not aware of yet because it's been on Facebook first to get tagged and everything. I fucking hate that platform. Um, but I do completely
Yeah,
agree.
man.
I do completely agree with everything you're saying.
So now, as long as actual portfolio stuff, if you're gonna post stuff, do it in steps. You know,
Mhm.
maybe one day you show off your sweet high sculpt, and then your high poly, right? And then another day you show it off with textures, right?
Yeah.
Like, whatever you do, not to fade into and just to fade into the wind. Just keep posting stuff, man. Whether it goes great or not, because some people are afraid to post stuff. They go, "Oh, that
Yeah.
doesn't look that good." Like, well, if you don't post stuff, how are people going to notice you, right?
Well, I think this just come with like confidence, and confidence comes with experience. I know when I was like much earlier in my career, I overthink everything. It's like, should I do this portfolio piece? Yeah, but what if it doesn't show these two exact skills that I want to show off? And what if X person sees it, thinks I'm shit, and that's it? I'll never get a job in the industry for the next 20 years. There's a lot of weird thoughts that go in your head when you're a younger dude. Like when you're trying to get into the industry. I know you think you're an old boy. It's not that long ago. You can remember what it's like trying to get in. Like you
Oh
fill
no,
your
man,
head
it was
with
hard.
random shit. Whereas now I'm like, I'll just post whatever. I'm like, I posted a piece of art. Oh well, that's not as good as it could be. Fair
I
enough.
think
Probably right.
I think it's harder to break in the industry now because of social media. Because social media, it's a platform where people only post their happy thoughts, you know,
Yeah, the highlight reel.
and and then you see the end result, but you don't see the journey to get there.
Yeah,
So you see me, oh, big and bad, standing in front of Sunny Santa Monica. So everybody assumes, oh wow, Raul just like he was manifested from the powers of the universe, and then he just stood in front of Sunny Santa Monica. Yeah, no, that's not how it works, man. I spent many hours at night on Saturdays, Sundays, Fridays, every day of the week, man, while all my friends were out there kicking it, girlfriends got mad at me, people got mad at me. I sacrificed a lot to get where
yeah,
I am. But at the same time, it paid off because now, I'm all over the place. So, cool. So, it, social media, I feel like it gives everybody a sense of instant gratification, which is bad because things don't just happen. People have to work for them. I feel like back in the day when I was working on portfolio, there was no social media, there was no Facebook. In fact, people didn't even post stuff on Facebook. Like Facebook was for college mates to be able to find like who was selling their books, right?
yeah, yeah,
That's really what it was. And yeah, man, when I was at night working on my high polys and stuff, I would just give myself a pat on the back and I said, all right, I'm gonna keep working on this and I'll go to sleep. I literally will work on stuff for maybe a week or two, and then maybe I will show it to one of my friends and go, "Hey, dude, what do you think of this?" And then they will tear me apart. And then all that would be done through like a message on Paul account or like a message on Yahoo Messenger,
oh yeah,
whatever we were
God.
using at the time, right? But
Yahoo Messenger, dude. Fuck.
now I feel like maybe you did something, and sure, it's totally fine to be excited about it, and you post it on social media, and then what happens is everybody just gives you like a shit ton of likes.
Yeah,
But somewhere in there, there's going to be that one guy who's having a bad day who decides to crap on this person. And then what happens is you were probably doing everything good, but because someone decides to be mean or whatever, they completely derailed you and then they make you insecure.